And today, we're going to be tearing this rear end apart. My rear end. Tearing my rear end apart. And this week, we're going to be tearing apart my rear end. Yeah. So join me as I try to make something out of this disaster. Look. Welcome to this week's episode of Tin Horse Restoration. It's episode 11. And this week we're going to be tearing into my rear end. Welcome to this week's episode of Tin Horse Restoration. I'm Colin Forrester, and this is episode 11. And this week, we're going to tear into my rear end. The rear end that we took out of the parts car. It's a mess. We're going to try and salvage it. And, I guess you could call this episode a colonoscopy. I'm looking forward to sharing it with you. And let's get started. Okay, we got our rear axle out. This is the first one I took out. I'm going to show you taking the other side apart. But I had to get one out that I didn't film so that we could get the parts ordered that we needed. So how I did that was, and I'll show you on the other side, but I had to cut the drum off to get it off because it was welded on. We just bolted in reverse, but then we hit it from this side, and that knocked her free. You don't need a slide hammer, don't need fancy tools. Okay, I had to heat the shaft to get it to come out. So what we're after now is we're going to count the splines. We're either 28 or 31. So we need to count these to find out what it is we're dealing with. And then we got to get that backing plate off. And I believe it slides over the bearing. So it's just a matter of topping it out. And then, because that bearing's got to get pressed on. So let me count up, see where we're at, and I'll get back to you. Okay, there's our rear shaft, and I put a little dirty mark, a little rust mark, right there, and I counted around, counterclockwise, and we got 28, so I guessed right. Because I bought some parts last night, and he looked at me and he goes, 28 or 31, and I said, nah. I said, I'm leaning towards 28. I don't think she's a low gear, and I don't think it has the biggest shaft. So, and I was right. So it's a little more common. So we guessed her right. We got 28. So we have everything that we need to put this whole rear end back together, except the bearings getting pressed on, which is going to hold us up. I was hoping to get this done in 2 days, but that's not going to happen because we got to get those bearings done. I don't even have the bearings yet, so I didn't want to order the bearings until I knew the shaft size. So now we know the shaft size. All right, let me get at her. I got some more video to shoot to show you how we got to this stage on the other side, and then we got to clean her out, sand her down, and get some paint on her. Okay, as I said, the hole in the center of the backing plate fits over the bearing, and that's our retainer plate for the rear axle, and that bearing got to get pressed off and on. Other than that, the shaft, there's no grease. I mean, no rust. The grease kept her. There's a little bit of wear. A little bit of silvery wear on the, let me see if I could get get you a good view of that. There you go. A little bit of wear, but that's more than acceptable. That axle could go back in. You can see there's a little bit of wear right there. But I don't know, that's looking pretty good. That's looking very good. So now we got to deal with this mess. The wheel cylinder's got to come out. And there's what we're dealing with. Nasty, grungy, torn up bolts. So I'm probably going to end up cutting these off, but I am going to, like an idiot, be brave and try and turn these out first. Just because I'm who I am. So we took the grinder to the bearing, clipped it on both sides, got it out. I'm saving that part just to make sure I got the right size. Retainer ring, just cut through it here. I didn't get all the way through because I don't want to nick the axle shaft, but that was enough to just put a little screwdriver in there, tap it in, and spread it apart so I could slide it off. And we've got that one little bit of the bearing left. I've already taken the wheels out, so we've nicked it as deep as I want to go, because I haven't damaged the axle at all. I just stopped short. So I'm just going to knock that off, and then that's our bearing off. We can clean up our shaft and get it ready for pressing the new one on. So you can see here, I just nicked it with the grinder, nicked the bearing, not the shaft. Shaft is clean. See, there you go. And then I just put the screwdriver gave her a little tappy too. And freed her up. Slid her off. Okay, so we're going to save that part too. And not that we need to, but I like to take parts with me when I'm going to order stuff, and just in case anybody has a question, and they can measure it and go from there. So there's our shaft, no damage to the shaft. Oh, what is that? That is a tiny little mark there, but I can live with that. Just be gentle. I went at it slowly. All right, so we're ready to go. Pull our drum back off, and she's ready to go and get pressed on, because I don't have a press. So the joys of being a hobbyist, you don't always have all the tools. So that's going to hold us up a bit about reassembly, but we can get to doing everything else, cleaning them up, sandblasting, painting, getting it all back together. We definitely got a lot of work to do before it can go back together anyway. So it looks like it's going to be a 2-weekend job, but we'll see. All right. So I went ahead earlier and I tore the axle out of one side already. You can't see it here, but the axle's gone out of here. Here it is back here. I needed to do that because I got to order some parts, and I had to identify what we had, whether we had a 28 spline or a 31 spline. That's one of the first things you got to do, because you're going to get different bearing sizes. There's our bearings and our retainer that we tore off. All we simply did was, and you see it here, I cut into them. That relieves the pressure, and you can knock it off because these are pressed on. The other one we cut into 2. Now we're going to hang on to these parts so that when we order them and they come in, we're going to make sure that we have the right ones. So I've got to pull the other side. I'm going to show you how to do that. I shot some video for the other one, doing the other side. We're going to clean up all these parts. We're going to try and salvage our backing plates. This one is in pretty good shape. The other one has some rot around the edge. I'm going to try and repair it. Call me crazy, but I think I can pull it off. Other than that, I got all the parts I need, but I don't have the bearings pressed on the shafts. I don't even have the bearings yet because I needed to pull those out to make sure I had the right ones. So this will be a two-parter this week. We're going to show you taking it apart, how I prep it all and get it ready for paint, get it sprayed so it's got some time to dry, and then next weekend we'll be putting it all together. That'll be part 2 of this. So you're going to see that in episode 12. But today, we're going to start knocking some of these bolts out. Now, let me take camera off the mount. I'm going to show you a few things, some problems that we're going to be dealing with here. Okay, here's problem number 1. These nuts. These ones here, rusty and cruddy. These ones here, I don't know where the nut went. It rotted away completely. So we're going to take these one at a time. That one there looks like it might come off. That one, I don't know where it went. This one here is basically non-existent, which might make this job easier. Anyway, we're going to start up here. We're going to see if we can get these cleaned up with a wire wheel, put some WD-40 on them, and then see where we're at. Here's the damage to our backing plate. Obviously, this bottom end, because there's our saddles up there, so this bottom end was sitting in the ground and it rotted. The one backing plate is fine. This one here has some damage along the edge. Other than that, it seems like it'll sandblast and clean up okay. This we're going to attempt to weld to fix. We can get new ones, but the whole point of this channel is to build a car on the cheap and to do it right. And what I'm going to show you here by trying to save that is that sometimes it is possible to save something like that. Now, my guess is we're probably going to have to replace it. But until it comes off and we see where we're at, we're not really going to know. But anyway, let's get started. Cleaning this up, we got a lot of work to do. And we got to get this center section housing off of here and get that out of there. So let me clean these up and I'll come back to you when I'm ready to show you something. All right, you'll see here, I didn't even try taking the bolts out. I just very carefully ground the heads off them all. There should be enough left over that we can turn the rest out. And hopefully that's the inside part is in a little better shape. But those heads, they weren't fitting in a socket. There was hardly anything left of a few of them. So we're just gonna knock this off now and we'll go from there. All right, after a good afternoon struggle, we're not done yet because those studs all have to come out. We've got 39 teeth. There's part number. We got 39 teeth and 14 teeth. That gives us a 279. So, she won't be quick off the line, that's for sure. But it is a convertible. We're not building it to go drag racing. So it'll be a good driver. The fuel economy will be half decent. And she'll just be slow to get going. Anyway, if I spin this around here just to show you. These teeth look perfect. There's no funny wear. There's no missing chunks. There's no damage. This is going right back in the way it came out. We won't be messing with anything in that. There's no need to. We'll be cleaning up the housing, painting it, getting it looking nice. I'm going to show you some tricks for that. And then we're going to put new seals and bearings in the ends, redo the brakes, put the new drums on, and she'll be ready to go in the car. So that's the end of day one. Yeah, I know. Took me the whole day to fight with that. The axles were it was insane how jammed in they were. It took the flat end of an axe and one hell of a swing to get that last one out. But she's good. And these inner, everything looks good in there. I don't see any problems. The bearings seem fine. Nothing that we need to. We're trying to do this on the cheap. Our rear end's something that we can deal with later on down the road with an upgrade if we're not happy with what we've got here. But for now, this is a clean her up, put some paint on her, and like I said, change the seals and go from there. We have a backing plate problem. I haven't decided whether I'm buying new ones yet or whether I'm going to try and fix the one we got. But I'll know tomorrow. So, when you see me next, I'll be right back at her. All right. I got the abrasive wheel on the grinder, and I'm just going at getting the worst of it. She's heavily pitted, but we're getting the worst of it off. We're gonna try and fill that up a little bit and smooth it out so that we get a decent looking rear end. So, because a good looking rear end is important, is it not? I don't know. Anyway, got half done. Working on the other half. And we'll see how that goes. I just wanted to show you the progress. All right, it's day 2 of our colonoscopy. We're gonna clean out our rear end. Got a bit of a dirty rear end. It needs some help. So let's get at her. Here's what I got done yesterday. Cleaned her all up. She got some heavy pitting, but she's definitely workable. So I'm gonna get at doing this side now and get her ready to put in some paint on her. So I'll get back to you when I've got this all cleaned up. All right, got a couple of things that we had to deal with here. I fixed the corner of that, not brilliantly, but we gave it a little bit of weld. And then inside we had a couple of pinholes. So there, and around one of the edges that I can't, somewhere up in there. Oh yeah, that right there. We had some logo we have to put in. So I had one along here, along the edge, that we've cleaned up. And that has slowed us down considerably from getting to the painting and everything. But as you can see now, we're looking a lot better. I'm quite confident. I filled it with brake clean, and I have no leaks. So I think we're going to be just fine. There's along the bottom here, I had a little thing, so I just came in. It was like a little sliver crack that I wanted to make sure was a little thicker. So there's one of the pinholes there. We just looked like a little dent that we filled in. I don't know if it was supposed to be there or what. I don't remember. I always thought they were just dimpled and that was it. So the dimple had a little bit of issue on the corner on the edge of it, and we filled that in. So we're looking good. I think I'm gonna spray some more rust encapsulator, inhibitor, remover, all those things. Turn all this what's left black. I did take the wire wheel to it to get into some of the divots. So I'm going to spray it down now, and then we'll give it a good cleaning, and we'll start painting her up. I might tinker with a little bit of filler on some spots, just to smooth it out. I'd like to get it looking nice, and that's only going to happen. Jeez, I'm not paying attention to the camera. Was it wandering all over the place like that? Oh, it's such a, well, this is a colonoscopy, right? It's a colonoscopy. So, you know, I mean, those things are not fun. This is tedious, but we're saving an entire rear end, and that's important. So, let me get back to you when we get to the next step. All right. First coat is self-etching primer. It's drying now. I'm going to put another coat of high hide on, and I'm going to build it up. Let's see if I can get rid of some of these pits. And we'll see how smooth we can get her and how clean we can have her looking. Unfortunately, our backing plate, let me see here, cleaned it up, and that's not going to work. So we've got rot in the emergency brake hole, and we got rot all around this edge that was sitting in the ground. It's unfortunate because the other one, I haven't even cleaned it up yet, but the other one looks just fine. No issues at all. Got some quite heavy surface rust, but I'm sure we could clean that up. But the end verdict is we can't order one, and we're going to order two, because putting one new one on would look silly with that other one on the other end. So unfortunately, my ultra cheap 9-inch is now becoming slightly more, but we're still saving a lot of money saving this housing, and buying all the other pieces individually. My end seals are not out of here yet. Here they are here. You see them in there, but the new ones are the correct size. So when we take the axles in to get the bearings pressed on, we'll probably push the seals in. I don't have a tool to pull the seals. I'll see if I can pull it on my own, but I do have a gear puller that might fit in there to pull them. So we'll see. Anyway, the rear end is now cleaner. I'm going to give it one last little wash through and wipe down, but we shot it full of brake clean a few times, and put the garden hose down her, and I got most of the crud out. So I got to give her one more wash with some brake clean. But all in all, a successful weekend. So you'll have to hang on for part 2 to see where we're at with the finished rear end all assembled. So I'll shoot some video of it going back together. I'll probably paint it this week, the next couple of days, and then we'll as we get closer to the weekend, I'll start putting her back together with the new brakes and the new drums and everything else, and have it all ready to go. And that'll be part 2. So disassembly, cleanup, repair, part 1. Assembly, new paint, and everything else, part 2. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something. Looking forward to getting her finished. It's been a lot of work, incredible amount of work, but well worth it. keep the costs down on our project. And I think we've still got a decent rear end. And the colonoscopy, or the colonoscopy, was successful. And we only found a little bit of cancer, but we dealt with it, so we're good. And we'll move on from here. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. Remember, like, tag, share, subscribe. Channel's doing really well after episode 10. Episode 10 was a good one, and hope you enjoyed this one just as much. That was long, but might throw some video in of the cleaning up the car bottom, because they did do a little bit of that, and we're gonna get at Project Bruno. All right, until next week, get off the couch, saddle up, boys. Well, I didn't come out unscathed. I did get clipped by the wire wheel. Unfortunately, the colonoscopy shirt didn't fare so well. Anyway, I'm good and filthy. So anybody doubting that I'm doing this on my own is, well, speak to my wife, because I'm leaving a trail. Anyway, you know, it's the way it goes over at 10 hours. Anyway, casual